Out of the front rows, back to 5th.
There's for second place. Martin Truex Jr. in the 56 is through the runner-up spot behind leader Matt Kenseth.
We're seeing a lot more give and take.
Trouble.
Well, didn't even get it out of my mouth.
Corner. David Regan in the 6, Regan Smith in the 78.
I was going to say we were seeing more give and take because the track is green. Looks like that pace was
rear
ran out.
damage fairly hard.
That's a shame for both of them.
I think that when I went around this track for the first time Thursday, that going into turn 3 grabbed my attention as much as anything, just because it's downhill into the corner, very fast part of the track, easy to get loose, especially beside a car. Almost took Casey Kane out. Kind of synchronized spinning right there.
Radio transmission. Allmendinger complaining about a sour engine. It was not his engine, we want to correct. He was talking about when he passed Ryan Newman, how Newman's engine sounded sour. Dick?
Trouble turn 2, guys.
Uh-oh. Hard in the wall, Regan Smith. And caution is out. Now Jeff Gordon is in the pit lane, so he will drive on through. Keselowski is done. He comes out. So it'll take us a minute to figure out who the winners and losers are on this, the 11th caution of the day.
Anybody that just stopped before this, of course, you can take the wave around. That's one good thing.
That's true.
And there's no question that's what Denny Hamlin will do, because he's by far not the first car one lap down.
Actually, it's a good scenario for the wave around. You've pitted, and you can wave around, and you got tires too. So
let's look ahead from Kyle Busch's onboard camera.
138 ahead up top.
Regan Smith just spun.
Ahead. Stay low, going to get a caution right here.
Dave?
Alan, he knew when he was going into turn 3, he shouted, "It's blowing up, it's blowing up, it's blowing up." And sure enough, he takes it to a coast on pit road.
Regan Smith. And the flag is out.
Did you hit anything?
That's
yeah.
Affirmative.
That's too bad. David Regan was running 9th at the time of his problem. Regan Smith was running 20th, and the caution flag is out for the 9th time in this race. And all the work Jimmy Johnson did to get the lead on that restart, he's going to have to do all over again to hold the lead.
That's too bad for David Regan, man. He had a good car today.
Car length. 8 laps to go.
Look at Jeff Gordon.
Wow, trouble right there. Martin and Hamlin and Regan Smith with a hard crash.
In front of you there. Stay focused. Say it's coming down. Watch it coming down. Watch it.
Caution is out, as you see. Contact in that pack in turn number 2, and a heavy crash for Regan Smith in that 78 car. Denny Hamlin involved, Mark Martin involved. And the safety workers there at Regan Smith's car. He had dropped the window net before the safety workers came up, his indication to them that he was okay.
See him getting out of the car. That's good to see. That's very similar to the way Jimmy Johnson hit last week in Charlotte. Actually, probably a little tougher.
His first Sprint Cup victory, Carl Edwards trying to deny him from the outside of the front row. Then Keselowski, Stewart, Kane, and Hamlin. Green flag, 2 to go.
boy, I tell you, that 2 car gets up in there. That's going to mess with Carl a little bit. But Carl should be able to get the steam up the outside.
Regan Smith in that 78 gets a good run through 1 and 2. Actually pulls away from Carl Edwards down the backstretch.
Stewart loses a bit of ground and loses 2 spots. It is Smith into turn 3. Edwards has the grip, and here he comes to the white flag. Regan Smith 1 lap away. Paul Menard blowing up in the back of the pack. White flag.
Can he do it? Can he hold him off?
No matter what, we've got a race now. They'll race it back if we don't get a caution.
Boy, Regan got off to the turn 2.
Oh, he hits the wall.
He's all right. He's okay. He got off there great.
But Edwards didn't jump inside.
They're all wrecking behind him, but it's okay. Can he hold him off? One more corner.
Here we come to the flag.
He's
Regan
got him.
Smith
I think
looking
he's got
for
him.
his first Sprint Cup win. Edwards, 2 car lengths back. Smith gets the flag, and this time he'll get to keep it.
How about that?
I love you guys, man. That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yes.
What a call.
You're the man, buddy. Nice job today. Nice job today, buddy. Thank you very much. Wow. Nice job.
A single car team racing out of Denver, Colorado is going to victory lane in the Southern 500.
And we've been bragging about his qualifying. You know, what a great qualifier. And this week he qualifies terrible. The worst he's qualified all year. But guess what? Got him a win.
Remember the location of the finish line at Talladega.
So Kligerman is tucked in. He's not worried about cooling his car. He's going to burn the thing down, run right to the finish. I think Kligerman's in the seat right here to win this thing.
10 cars chasing after him in the draft. Final lap at Talladega. Who's going to get back here first?
I like Kurt Busch's chances.
I spoke way too early.
Yeah, he's got the momentum right here with Allgaier. There they go.
Oh, he side drafted as hard as he could. He split them up. Don't count Logano and Bowman out, though. Here they come.
Here comes 20 in Vickers, 11 in Sadler up through the middle. Oh, Bowman trying to stay with Logano. Kurt Busch sliding up the track to block. Here comes Regan Smith to the outside. Logano moves to try and pick him up. Smith to the bottom. On Vickers, turn around. Who gets to the checkered flag? Here they come to the stripe while they crash behind him. Unbelievable. Who won? Casey Kane, I think, is the winner. The winner of this race has just been called. It's Regan Smith in the 7. He was apparently ahead at the moment of caution.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Still maintains the gap.
Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Smith in the 7, the championship leader. Larson in the 32, the Rookie of the Year leader. Who gets back first to win it?
Oh, Larson had a big run there, but used a lot of racetrack.
Okay, just be smart. Bring it home here. 6 back. 1 more time. 3 and 4.
One more corner to get through. He's done it cleanly. The championship leader is going to have a huge day in Michigan. Regan Smith wins it.
They're going to make it to the white flag, it looks like.
Keselowski clear to the lead. Last lap at Daytona. Can Smith rally back? Can Kyle Busch find a way clear on that inside line of the traffic? Or will the caution come out and end it early?
That's what you have to do. You can't wait to make your move. You got to go. See the bumping, but they can't stay locked on even on this last lap.
Hold your breath. Here they come to the checkered flag. Keselowski and Smith and the whole pack steaming to the finish line. Regan Smith wins it by a fender.
It's all down to Alex Tagliani and Regan Smith with 1 to go. The white is out.
Yeah, that's the flag that he was looking for, because if something happens now, this race would be over if NASCAR threw the caution. So that's the one that Tagliani won. Now he's just got to complete these 13 corners.
Final time, the run up the hill. Look at the shenanigans going on in the background. Chris Buescher has to take that defensive inside line to keep the man who's only 24 points behind him in the championship away. Chase Elliott round the outside, out of the keyhole. Now it's a drag race between these two guys, Ford and Chevrolet, Buescher and Elliott.
Chase Elliott's been able to outbrake a lot of people down into this corner. Let's see if he can do it on that outside. Regan Smith right on the bumper of Tagliani, though.
If Buescher can hang tough here, this will be difficult for Chase Elliott. However, that being said, you can stay there and get the run up to turn 5, and that's what Elliott's done. Now Buescher will have the better and preferred line down into turn 6. Terrific driving from two super talented young drivers.
Oh, well, I did not think it was possible to go too wide through as many corners, but look at Regan Smith trying to get to the bumper here.
This is not over yet. Nobody's giving this race to Alex Tagliani. Most importantly, Regan Smith. He felt he was robbed of a good result last weekend. He knows he was robbed of a good result last weekend at Watkins Glen. And this, one last-ditch effort as he gives it to Alex Tagliani.
Oh, he knocks him out of the way.
He sent Alex Tagliani wide. Regan Smith right on the second last corner will win Mid-Ohio. A little bit of short track racing on a road course.
What a battle it's been. What a race. What a story.
No gain, no gain.
That lead has dropped below 1 second with less than a mile to run. Denny Hamlin is trying to get to the 7, but he's going to run out of time and distance. You know, Regan Smith told Ty Dillon at Watkins Glen, "You finish my championship today, I'll make sure you don't win it either." That story's irrelevant now. Regan Smith is back in this championship fight like you wouldn't believe and wins the Hisense 200 at Dover. Regan Smith is back in